Alan Wake 2 is one of the most visually atmospheric games that I have ever seen. It has a very heavy use of bloom and film grain, colors that fill the world and really stylized environments. It doesn't have a typical time of day, but instead handcrafted times of day that change when you traverse areas. It's something that is handcrafted, something that is made to feel incredibly filmic. It's not meant to represent the world in a perfectly sharp and detached manner, but instead something more dreamlike, something like a memory. It really fits the way that Alan Wake 2 tells its story. This is a story about a malleable world, a world that is changed with art, a world that is changed with writing. So in this malleable world, why make a visual style that is cold, detached and sharp when you could make something dreamlike, something story-like? The world of Bright Falls and the surrounding areas have a very cozy and rustic feel to them. This is rural America, not New York or San Francisco or Los Angeles or Chicago, the places we've seen in so many video games before. I'm really getting tired of those environments. If you want to set a game in the US, please set it somewhere else than these cities we've seen represented again and again. Bright Falls is unique. It's this cozy mountain area that you go to detach yourself from the world. You go there to fish, you go there to visit the local diner, get a good cup of coffee while you listen to the radio. You go there to escape real life. Again, this fits together with the dreamy look that Bright Falls has. Remedy really has made a look that contributes to the story and the place the game is set within. There's furthermore a heavy use of fog throughout the game. It's something that again is otherworldly, that cuts down on the sharpness and detached way to portray an area, and something that makes it more dreamlike. It also fits the horror genre because what you can't see is what you will fear. There's also a heavy use of Finnish imagery. There are Finnish flags, there are saunas, characters that speak Finnish. This is one, because the developer, Remedy Entertainment, is Finnish, but two, it does lend itself to the world, to have something that is a bit off. This is rural America, but there are all these Finnish things around here. People that are speaking a strange language, one that isn't even subtitled if you have subtitles on. Sure, if you're Finnish, you can probably understand what they say. I'm not Finnish, I don't understand what they say. But if you're not, this is just something that is odd about this place that really you should know. It fits into a well-defined bucket. Rural America away from the world. The world of Bright Falls is off. It's off in the way that it has all of these Finnish things. It's off in the way that it looks so stylized. It's off in the way that it seems so removed that it has its own super local commercials where the two brothers have the coffee theme park and all sorts of other ventures. It doesn't seem like a place that really should exist. How can they make all of this run around when it really isn't a big touristy place? Sure, there are tourists, but not a whole lot. They have a whole theme park in the middle of what looks like a swamp. It's off, this place of Bright Falls, and that lends itself to the world of Alan Wake 2. That lends itself to the storytelling, that lends itself to the sense that this world is malleable and not fixed, cold and documentary. Of course, it is a bit ironic that I am talking about being tired of seeing New York depicted in video games, as the other part of Alan Wake 2 are the New York sequences, where you play as Alan Wake himself. But this is a different New York. Again, it's a New York that fits into a bucket. the neon noir detective New York with murders you will help uncover. But it's a very desaturated New York. It's a New York where there are two primary colors. There's the kind of greenish yellow color and the saturated reds. You won't find a whole lot more than those two colors. There's also the swirly looking darkness around objects and the shadows that walk the streets. There's a thin layer of garbage covering the whole city. It's, again, one thing that fits into a bucket but feels off. There's also no LED lights throughout the world, not in Bright Falls and not in New York. These modern technologies are exchanged for older technologies like bright bulbs around the theater or neon lights as seen in the Oh Dear Diner or near the venues in New York. The most modern thing you get to see in the game is really the phone box in New York with its sleek metal. I don't actually think that form of sleek metal is anywhere else in the game. It's only used for that phone box. It feels like something that is, again, completely apart from the real world. It doesn't use modern technology. It's its own thing. It looks like the real world, but the buildings go on for a bit too long and disappear in a haze. There's a bit too much fog around Bright Falls. There's the darkness swirlies and the very thin layer of trash throughout the city of New York. The story of Alan Wake is a story about a malleable world. It's a story about localized malleability and being disconnected from your surrounding environments. And that is one of the reasons why the atmosphere of Alan Wake 2 works so well. It doesn't clash with the story. It's something we don't get to see that often in video games. We don't get to see imperfect visuals. We don't get to see this kind of stylization where colors will absolutely fill the screen, and we don't get to see the environments contribute so much to the story, which is one of the reasons I think that the environments of Alan Wake 2 are so incredibly engaging.